Hey everyone, welcome to the My Scaling YouTube channel. So Anna trailer just dropped and I watch it and I love it. Really good trailer, probably the best version of Anna so far that I have seen because when Anna dropped in season 2 of Tekken 7, she wasn't really that good. She was do or die, and this is always has been Anna, of course, but she wasn't really that good. But season 4 really did justice to her. But since I have already seen the trailer, I have already recorded this video once, and I want to talk about the notes of the patch notes, of course. But I'm just going to go in a revisionist because I don't feel like doing this all over and over again. Of course, I could actually pretend that I am still hyped and watch it this. I haven't watched this, but this is not going to be me. So I'm just going to tell you as it is, right? The things that I have noticed on Anna's trailer, Anna trailer. Sorry, don't get it mixed, right? So for starters, this is one of the coolest characters in the Tekken franchise, and I was wondering ever since we saw the lipstick on the helicopter. We knew it was Anna, right? But I was always wondering if they gave Nina guns so she can fire bullets in a real match, were they going to give Anna her bazooka, right? Or are they going to give her knives? And they did both. Like they gave her fingernails, iron fingernails, and they also gave her a bazooka. In Angola, we don't call rockets or RPG, we just call it bazooka. And she has it, and boy, it's glorious. The design is so crazy, it's so beautiful. And for some that don't know, the announcer of Tekken 8, this girl, is actually the voice actress of Anna as well. So really crazy stuff. And yeah, really crazy stuff. And she has lovely Tom here, which is the name of the bazooka. Lovely Tom, and it's all decorated with roses and stuff. Typical Anna, right? She's wearing a wig, so we never seen her actual real hair. But really cool character overall. So I'm going to play this slow so we can take a look at some of the changes, which are what I think are interesting, despite the design. Right, the design is just beautiful. Red and black, and a little bit of white. You can't go wrong with that. So good. And dispersion, right? On the punish, this is Western in 2. Doesn't launch for some reason. I don't know why exactly. But he doesn't launch and it causes a knockdown. And then there is this option, right? Which is Storm. So what this is doing, this Western in 2 sets into distance, right? So Anna has a second stance in this game, and it's this one. This stance allows her to use Lovely Tom, right, the bazooka, as a hammer. Boy, it's so good. The range and the disjointed hitbox, right? So good. So she has that. And then we have Blood Bomb. We have Blood Bomb right here. Charge it up. And this is down back 1-4 with animation. I was wondering what kick is that. So they made down back 1-4 is now a high instead of a low. It used to be a low. Or the animation changed it, but so, still good. This is 2-3 into cut stance. She can still roll over, but remember that this option that Victor is using is too slow. Usually Anna can roll over highs and mids. She has to do a power crash, and she can go also under some mids. This is still a counter hit knockdown, and this is still a grounded hit. Really good change. Still a good move overall. This one right here is Western in 1-2, which cancels into bazooka firing, right? cancels into bazooka firing, and she can cancel this into her second stance or her first stance, which is the cat stance. The thing about Anna's cat stance though is that if you let her do this, you cannot grab her and you cannot use lows against her. If you try to use a low, she is going to hop kick you automatically. So this happens, right? And it's a full launch. And then this is a just frame. The trail that you guys are seeing here is a just frame assassin dagger. What I am thinking is that maybe the just frame version is going to launch on normal hit, and the regular assassin dagger is going to launch on counter hit. That is what I am thinking, because Nina has this, right? Nina has this, but on counter hit only. So we'll see. Maybe it's just more damage increase, maybe it's just more plus on block, or maybe it's a true launch on just frame version. But she has this, and this is 4-2 into 1+2 blood bomb, and this launches of course into an extension. Then this is while running 2-4, right? And she has a lot of options from while running 2 this time. This is the first one. She used to have while running 2-3, which was a straight up kick, so they probably changed it into that and removed that and into this one and removed the old one. Something to see on release. And here they're talking about food. So this is full crouch down forward 2. This is a key normal for Anna. This is a key normal for Anna, and it's really good. What makes her full crouch game being so strong, it's this move. And it launches screw immediately on normal hit. Then she can extend with this small spin, right? This is down to 1. She can cancel this into cat stance as well by pressing back 3 immediately. This is running 2 into bazooka firing. Probably another missile. I'm not sure what is going to be the option from that. She can sidestep 2, and sidestep 2 used to be different. The animation changed, so it now has a lot more reach. This has a lot more reach than it used to have. This option used to be very short in reach, but she now fully crouches. She literally goes to the floor, and she has a wall standing option right here. This is wall standing 3, so she's plus. From that into cat stance, and from cat stance she has 2-1, and cat stance 2-1 is probably 12 frames or 10 frames. We'll see. But the thing is, if she has this option from cat stance, this is a hit engager that is fast as hell. So she cannot punish people with this normally. She has to catch you into a mix up. And Hannah is one of those characters that is going to thrive from a full crouch mix up hit engager. And now she can do like her key normal into a bazooka sweep, right? Thumb sweep. And the sweep is still the same. What I think is that maybe if this is blocked, she might not become as punishable as she is when she does a full crouch down forward 2 normally. So it might reduce at the risk of being punished, but this consumes hit. And then this is 3 into 2 into hit dash. So this is her other hit engager in the game. The overhead means that it's a hit dash version that launches. So it's a 13 frame launcher in hit. Then there is 3-2 into wall standing 2 into assassin dagger. Is that it what she does? So she did 3-2 into down forward, wall standing 2 into assassin dagger. Oh my god. Here's another one. This calls the ship. This low is no. It's probably down forward 4 into the stance, and she can use the bazooka. You guys notice that every time she is about to use Lovely Tom, she goes into a stance, right? See right here. This one is the only one where she doesn't go for it. See, like right here, she doesn't go for it because this is probably a sequence that can only be used from down 4-2, right? And right here, she goes into the stance, and then you can switch into this. So I'm thinking maybe this is going to be an exclusivity. So here is her without the stance. So she uses the same animation, but the thing is that from standing 3, she can transition into the thumb stance, right? And she does right here. It's barely noticeable, but it's there. You guys can see right here, she is entering, right? But she already has the hand ready. And then she uses thumb. And here she uses 3 again, but this time she is jabbing, right? And then there is this option into Assassin Dagger, which I'm curious to see how she did that. Then right here, right, she goes into the stance again. The stance that you see on Victor right here. See? And then she grabs it and uses it as a hammer. That's something I wasn't expecting. That is down back 4-4. The second option is a mid. That is a punish 13 frame. 3-3 into a full crouch mix up. If you try to block the low, then she can launch. Oh, so this launches if you are crouching, but if you are standing, it gives a knockdown. That's probably it. Hit burst, freezes time, slap, and then hit smash, right? Which is Air Tekken 7 Rayard into a missile. Jesus Christ, the stinger is so good. And there is this effect that Lydia keeps it during her hit smash. And I'm wondering what this does. Of course, we are going to find out on the next stream, but we can only speculate, right? What it does, what this does. And then there is Nina. They didn't find much information on this one to be shared, but there is this option, right? Nina can cancel the slaps. Anna can slap back, which is 14 frames. And this seems to be her up forward throw. Up forward 1+2, but it changed into this now. Where she does an elbow in the head. Seems powerful enough. And it doesn't seem to remove white health. I haven't noticed the effect there. So there is that. She's in hit. That's -14. And she punishes with down forward 1-2-3 into full crouch, right? Into cat stance to mix you up with a down back 3 into cat stance into 3 into bazooka firing. So this is another option. So remember that stance I told you where she can pick off the bazooka, right, and hit you with like a hammer with it. It seems like she can also ready it and fire it. So she can fire like 3 bullets. I'm pretty sure this is blockable, but man, that's good. That's really good. So these all options where she can enter distance, right? For example, from cat stance, she can go into this immediately. And this is going to consume heat. And heat doesn't go away, as you guys see, it's still there. And she has, like, here goes. She does 3-1 this time and fires a bazooka. This is probably a string, but as you guys are seeing, this added a status effect on Nina. What this is doing, it's what I am wondering what this is doing, right? And then she goes into the 3 kicks, into a power crash. Predictable. And here she is in hit again. And the sweeps, my god, the bullets are highs now? Or they always were? Confirm chat. The bullets were always high, right? Confirm in the comments. Then there is this one used to be a knockdown, but man, seeing this wall splat seems like a buff. Then there is the, and it leads to the stance, right? There goes the stance, and she takes off the bazooka and uses as a hammer. Full launch. Three again. Into full crouch, into while standing. It's not while standing. That is, what is that move? Is quarter circle forward while she is into a crouch dash. You press 3 4 and she's going to do that double knee. But this slide into bazooka, man, that's so good. That's so good, actually. That's so good. So this is Anna. I hope you guys enjoy it, and the rest it's irrelevant because this is just really rage, right? And yes, we have seen it all. So good. The animations, man, the animations are top notch, right? Look at this. So beautiful. Missile. That's too good. Too good, man. I'm definitely going to push Ace that this season pass. I need this character. It's been a while. I always play Jin first, Kuni second, and I play Anna second or third, depending of which game she is and which game she isn't, right? And I played her in Tekken 7, not as long as I wanted to, but by season 4, I was playing a lot more Anna than while I was playing Jin. I just didn't really upload that much Jin back in time, but I was actually playing a lot of Anna in Kunimitsu back then. So, really good character. Expect Anna Specialist Guide when it comes out. But I also want to tell you that she is going to have Anna School, of course. This is a character I always want to explore, and it's always good to have more than just Jing in the channel. For those people that like Anna and are enthusiastic and passionate about her, expect some good things for her. The design is beautiful, easily the greatest design in the character, and it's also one of the reasons why I like Anna a lot compared to Nina. She is that waifu material, right? Uh, it's more easier to access to, it's easier to mix to. She isn't as high execution demanding as Nina, and I think this is what it makes the difference, right? So I'm gonna have Anna on March 31, of course, on early access, and she's gonna be fun. She's gonna be fun. So expect a lot of good things for her. See you guys on the next one. My next video is going to be about the changes on season 2. Since this is already way too long, I am thinking about separating it so you don't have to take a look. But maybe I will. Maybe I'm just gonna cut this here and let's go straight into it. So I'm not going to go over all because the last time I did that it took at least an hour. So we just go into bullet points, right? And here is what is the plan for the season 2. So here is the first hint that things might not occur as some people are expecting to go. So what Namco is going to do, this is a dev stream of course, is going to be that they are going to redefine how hit works, right? The hit system allow players to showcase their individuality. So guess which characters don't do that? Jin. Jin Hoban sucks, right? So I really hope that this means that they are going to redesign it. They are going to implement lingering soul and let the character run free, right? With Mishima installed options. That is going to be a game changer for him. They can nerf whatever they want to nerf, but this is a needed change. Jin is the worst character to use hit for. He only has hit smash, and that option sucks to be narrowed down to one option, right? While everyone else get to do a lot of shit, Jin gets to do just one shit, right? And I'm not complaining that he gets to do just one shit. His shit is too good, maybe way too good for his own good. But I don't want to play Jin like that. I want to have fun. I want to install my Mishima moves, and I want a better wave dash 50-50 mix up. And what's better way than doing that if not by installing his omen moves and let him move freely, right? I think that is the direction to go. And they explaining this because everyone just activate hit burst, then does hit smash, and does whatever the fuck they want. And it's so toxic. I really hate it. And while I think this could be a good change depending on how they do, this first change in the way they added to it, I don't like it. And I'm going to explain you why I don't like it. So I'm just going to skip this a little bit in order to showcase what they meant. Yes, and now she can do that from hit, right? I mean, Anna doing this from crowd, from hit, it's fine. It's an identity, like the main man loves to say, right? But there are characters in the game that have strong options from a full crouch, and these characters doesn't need that. For example, I don't think Jin should be able to enter into a full crouch mix-up from hit. I think this is going to make him toxic as hell because Jin has good options from while standing. He has while standing 1, while standing 3, while standing 4, and it still has while standing 2, which is a launch. And if you try to dark Jin at any point to block any of these, for example, one of his lows, it's going to cook you with while standing 1 or while standing 2, right? So in order for Jin to go that, the balanced way should be it needs to wave dash because it gives him time. At least it becomes difficult to do, right? And if he really wants to go that straight away, it gives him time. Like it gives time for the defender to actually see. Oh, he's trying to cancel that into a crouch dash. If I duck, I'm dead. But now Jin gets to do that while he is at plus 17. That's broken. That is broken. So I'm not a fan of this change. This is another change I don't like. This right here. I hate hit bursts with passion. I do. And one of the reasons why I hate them so much is because they do too much with too little. They are easy to access. So easy, in fact. They are so easy to access. They also freeze time. They have armor. And the armor starts on the 7th frame. 7th frame armor, that's as fast as Yoshimitsu Flash. If you leave a gap of 7 frames on a character that has hit, it's going to activate it and it's going to beat your move. I hate this change in Tekken 8 so much. And on top of that, it freezes time. Just look at this. Look at this. Time freezes. The character already has armor. Time, it's freezed. Why does the time freeze? Why? Why a move that it's plus 1 on block, has armor on 7 frames, why does this move has to freeze time? Why? Just why? And now characters can do it from stances. Characters can now do this from stances. Why? I'm not a fan of this change. This is probably the worst change going to season 2. It's probably this one. Because I was hoping that they would at least remove the armor of hit bursts. I don't care if they continue to freeze time, but this move cannot be doing these two things. Having armor and freezing time. Either it freezes time or it has armor. It cannot be both. I think it's broken that it has both. And on top of that, it's plus 1 on block, right? Too strong. It's a move that is guaranteed to hit no matter what. And you guys gave him from stances because now you can no longer hit lows on people, because if your low is too slow on the startup, the moment the game freezes, you can no longer touch that character. And now it has its smash. Oh my god. Why? Why? Now imagine, I like to see game from Jin's perspective, right? But now imagine this. Jin has Zen and CDS. Imagine Jin having hit smash from CDS. It's going to be broken. I don't think, at least it should be this way. I think that every character that can activate hit burst from a stance shouldn't activate it normally. Simple as that. If a character has hit smash from a stance, shouldn't activate it normally. It needs to go to a stance to activate. That will be balanced. But on top of having a neutral, these options are already very toxic. Being able to do it from stances, that's too much. That's too much. That's a change I don't like. Easily a change I don't like. It's this one. Then finally, here is something that I like, and this is reduced chip damage during the hit state. Overall decrease additional chip damage when hit is blocked. So this is a good change. Uh, this is a good change, and we are going to display real quick what it does. So if you are in rage, right, and the opponent does something like a hit dash, it no longer does bazillion chip damage. It does just a little bit. It scales a lot, right? And if the opponent, if you are not in hit, you are going to eat like a lot of chip. But when you enter rage, the chip is reduced heavily, right? And that, my friends, as you guys can see here, in Devil Jin's case, right? In Jin's case, the chip is reduced heavily. And that is a good change. This is how it should be. This is one of the reasons why Tekken on the first year, it's always all over the place, right? So this is how it does. It used to be 19, now is 15, but I still think it's too much. I think overall it should just be like when it does in rage. If you waste your meter doing something like a hit dash or a hit smash and the chip is heavily reduced, that's okay. That is how it should be. That is how it should be. It shouldn't just be rage like rage dependent, right? But still a good change overall. This is the first one. The second one is what they did to Power Crash. So Power Crash, this is, for example, New Azucena's Power Crash, or where her Power Crash was moved to, because the normal Power Crash that used to activate heat, this one no longer exists. And this is an overall change. Every character that used to have a Power Crash heat engager no longer has one. This is a good change. This is a good change. So they are just now Power Crashes. Easily just Power Crashes. Good thing. Thank God. Thank God. Like, why was this a thing, right? Why was this a thing? So I think overall hit burst should receive the same treatment. Remove the armor, keep the time pause, or remove the time pause and keep the armor. But it cannot be both. It cannot be both. That move is so toxic. It's one of the things that I hate the most in Tekken 8. It's that move. You hit something, you go into hit burst, right? You are trying to block, you're trying to react, the time freezes and it GG's. That move sucks, right? It sucks from a competitive standpoint. It's annoying. It's annoying. But having the ability to go from hit burst from a stance, I think it's toxic as hell. But this, at least this is a good change. So I'm going to switch back into something that is pretty cool and is what I did right here. So this one is godlike, and if you guys have no idea, the foreground is where we sit when we are playing the game, and the background is the background of the game, right? So you guys noticed how I used to play a lot in the right side, and it's the only side on the game where you can step against Dragunov. And if you are playing Mishimas, usually you want to play on the left side because it's the only side where you get to sidestep Mishimas. But with this change, it's irrelevant because now you get to play on both sides, right? You can play on the left, you can play on the right. If they put you into a forced crouch position, you can sidestep into either the foreground or the background. It doesn't matter anymore if they are on the left or if they are on the right. You see that they are going for a certain mix-up, you sidestep on the side that is supposed to be sidestep. It's no longer locked by the position you are in. It only took them 30 years to change that, but it finally came, right? This is one of those things that you should pat a dev in the back, because this is one of those little things that makes the game better, right? It's a small change, but it makes so much for the game. So really happy they finally did this, and this is going to help out a lot, specifically in these side switching things. Uh, People throw you into a side that they know that you cannot sidestep certain things. Now it's irrelevant. You can play on the left, you can play on the right, you can sidestep into the foreground, either way, and avoid every form of mix-up. So this is the first change that is very positive, and I like it a lot. The another is sidestepping with pre-input functionality. So this will prevent you from getting clipped when you block something and you want to sidestep immediately or sidewalk out of the opponent's mashing, because this needed to be timed, but now you can just really move off the way, because if you input the sidestep, you input the sidestep. The thing is, the backlash is going to be that if you are wrong about it and the opponent does something that is going to track you, it's going to hit you regardless, right? But that's on you. That, my friend, that's on you. It's your fault that you got hit, you got clipped by something like this, right? So this is also a positive change, and if not a really good one. The easy input difficulty at the start of the rounds, implementing slight input buffering, it's good too. It means that mashes are gonna mash, but if you anticipate, you either get a trade anyway, but it's also easier to backdash out of the confusion because you are buffering, right? But these three changes working in tandem is going to do so much good for the game in general, and I really like this one a lot. As you guys can see, Jin is now stepping into the foreground, right? Something that was impossible to do in this side. You could only go to that side, but now if we're fighting Dragunov, even if you are in this side, you can sidestep into the foreground. So this is a really positive change overall, and I really like this. Is easily the top one changes in the game. Another one that I'm going to display right here is the Ghost versus Ghost, and I know some of you stopped playing against Ghost. I did too, and that's because the Ghosts have limitations, right? And the limitations of Ghosts are easily one of the things that is very annoying. And let me see if I can find it real quick. The limitations of the Ghost is what makes this like really something undesirable, right? So what they are going to do now, it's different. They are going to fine tune the Ghost. People were actually in the chat. This is the only part in the chat where people were actually serious and were requesting for updates in the ghost and in the ghost mode. And what they did is people were asking, make the ghost harder, right? The ghosts need to be more smarter because once we understand the patterns, we can just smoke them because they barely change anything. They don't learn. But in season 2, what they did is the following. Remember how I talk about the rhythm cycle all the time? Aggressive means that you are mashing, balanced means that you are in between aggressive and defensive. Either you wait or attack, and you are in that yellow zone where if you are reacting to everything that you every kind of movement you see on screen, there is an easy chance of being whiff punished. And defensive is when you switch all to defense and wait for block punishments and whiff punishments in order to play the game completely, right? And defensive is going to be strong against aggressive, while aggressive is going to be strong against balanced, right? And balance is going to be weak against defensive, something like that. This also a tic tac for it is like rock paper scissors situations. You need to adjust accordingly. While you do that naturally because you have a brain and you can access the situation, your AI, the one that you train, have no idea about this. They don't know when you are playing aggressive, when you are playing balanced, when you are playing defensive. This is how they call it in the game. I just call it outburst, fear, and respect, right? Respect being defensive, fear being balanced, and outburst being aggressive play, right? Where everyone just is going to mash all the time. So what they did is now you can do this to your ghost. You can choose in what mode your ghost is going to play. Is they're going to go overly aggressive, which means they're going to focus mostly on offense. Balance it means they are going to have some defense in there, and defensive, they are going to play a lot more defensive than the rest, right? But you can switch that, and this is only the first thing that they did. The other thing that they did is that now you can play on Ghost versus Ghost. You can actually tell your ghosts what move that they did it's good, a good strategy, and what move that he picked up it's terrible strategy, right? Because everything that you can defend against your own ghost is already a terrible strategy. And when you do that, this is a virtual fighter thing actually. And I kept bugging Nakatsu on Twitter about this, and I'm really glad that they implemented. Is the fact that if your ghost gets like reinforced by telling them, man, this move sucks, this strategy sucks. The 4-4 into 2 that you did, I kept ducking because I know it's coming, right? And you thumbs down that move, then your ghost will just stop doing it and is going to start using other moves instead, and that move is going to go into the forgotten. That it's a perfect change, and the change that the ghost is needed in order to thrive. So even if you don't play online, you can do this way more often. You can pick every character in the game. You practice, you learn, and you do this. And every single time that you match it, for example, let's say you get to do optimal punishes, right? Someone did a minus 13 move, you punish with the optimal 13 frame move. Someone does a minus 14 frame move, and you punish with the optimal 14 frame move. And then your ghost does the same, and every time he gets it right, you thumbs him up. He is going to use that option more in that particular situation because you say that it's a good strategy. So that is how it's going to optimize the ghosts, right? And on top of all these two changes, another thing that they did is that now you can actually delete your ghost and start over. Freaking finally. Finally, we waited too long for this, right? We waited too long because we had to wait 30 days without playing for the ghost to disappear. And I think I spent at least 90 days without playing this game, more than a month, but my ghost didn't disappear. So there was something wrong with that. So being able to actually go there manually and delete the ghost, because I haven't played Heihachi in a while, Azucena, Kazuya, and even Paul. I haven't played Paul since last year, but the ghost is still on my database. Why? Why is not deleting? So being able to manually delete the ghost, it's a godsend. It means I can delete it and start over with a better ghost, because game is an evolution, right? Fighting game is an evolution. Every time you grow and you pick up new things, new skills, new ways to punish, new way to enforce a certain strategy, you want your ghost to be a literal exact copy of yourself, right? And if the ghost stagnates, for example, he's still using season 1 tech and everything that I told him on season 1 when I am already playing like end of season 1, it's going to suck, because that ghost cannot recognize like distance where I let the jab whiff in my way, in my face, and I whiff punish with median line. It doesn't do that, right? It doesn't optimize his wave dash mix-ups. He cannot cancel Zen, for example, right? And still uses Omen a lot and whiffs a lot, something that I barely do these days. So being able to direct your ghost into the steer your ghost into the right direction, right, and tell him this sucks, this is good, this is good, this sucks, it's going to be a way to make the ghosts harder and customize it. But I still would want them to raise the difficulty a little bit, right? And maybe implement some new algorithms in how ghosts are going to recognize spacing depending on the style that they are searching for. For example, if they are playing defensive, they are probably looking for whiffs, right? And maybe block punishes if in switch accordingly, right? Maybe switch between aggressive, balance, and defensive, and never actually display on screen. They just do that based on what they are being played against, right? If you are boarding your ghost with aggressive offense, then the ghost is going to switch up to something more defensive and pay more attention to the risks that you are using, right? Something like that is something that I really expect them to implement in the future, maybe season 3. But for season 2, I think this is good. And it says right here that you can rate the ghost actions with nice or bad, right? Which is thumbs up and thumbs down. If you give the ghost a thumbs up, it's a good change. Thumbs down, it's a bad move. And you can customize the behavior, right? Because everything that you rate as bad, the ghost is going to stop doing it, and it's going to minimize its use, because that is killing him, right? And you don't want your ghost to lose that bad. So there is that thing. So let's see how this finds out. I'm definitely going to be playing against my ghost a lot again, because this is an upgrade, not exactly an update, an upgrade. And of course I will be playing online, because I finally managed to get some optic fiber cable and rent a place to play it. And this is where I'm going to be most of the time, playing online against you guys. So I'm not going to talk about the online for now. Not sure if it's going to have netcode improvements, but expect me to be there, and I'm going to be playing along with you guys in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys on the next one.